hair looks like.
How much my hair looks?
Our both of our hair.
I know. I love it. That's because we have the same hair.
I know.
Allie.
I put like not very many pieces in.
Well, I've been putting in all of the pieces.
I cannot. I would look crazy if I did.
But to be honest, I'm slowly starting to learn to do different hairstyles that I don't want to have them all in there. So I like it. I've gotten into my groove with my hair. I'm super into it.
Okay. Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Bitches in Business.
Thank you for listening as always.
Yes.
It's a new year. I was going to say a new season. We could do a new season if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
This could be our first episode of season 2.
Okay, sure.
All right. There we go. Boom. Just done.
Season 2, episode
happened.
1, coming at you.
Love it. How was your day, Allie?
I did not have the best day.
Well, it's raining too, so that doesn't
raining.
help.
We are just over a week into 75 hard. And well, I call it 75 soft.
I'm just calling it 75 because I think 75 hard just sounds weird.
It sounds very intense and like we're not.
It kind of sounds sexual a little bit, and so I'm just like, I find it weird.
I didn't think about that
to tell people, so I just say, "Oh, I'm just doing a challenge for 75 days."
Yeah. Today was the hardest day for me in that I allowed myself to get to code black hungry.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. The key is to keep healthy snacks around so that you don't get to that point. But I didn't stray off of my diet. I just became very angry.
Well, and then of course, you're very limited in terms of your options on what you can eat quickly.
Yeah.
So, you can't go through a drive-through unless you wanted to get a salad from, say, McDonald's or something, which I've never had before. So I'm not even sure if they're good. I know there's a lot of sugar in them though. But you're really kind of, you have to go to places like, say, Country Grocer and get one of their pre-made salads. I know you're not eating bread too, so you can't just grab a sandwich. So it's hard. It's hard to then find something.
So I had a salad from Subway. It was deeply unsatisfying.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I tried their salads for the first time the other day too, and I felt the exact same way. So that'll be the last time. I'm still eating bread though, but I don't really like Subway in general. After that,
I love Subway.
Well, after that study came out a couple years ago where they were testing all the different chicken from like various restaurants and fast food places.
Yeah.
Subway has the highest soy content in their chicken.
Right. I believe that.
And it's like 60% soy. So you can't call it chicken at that point. I'm sorry. When something's more than 50% something
chicken
else,
style.
like that's just disgusting. So, anyways, yeah, so that's always really difficult when you're trying to then find a solution. I, on Sunday, did meal prep and I bought like a whole bunch of mangoes and I cut them all up and I put them into separate Tupperware containers. And I did the same thing with a bunch of veggies. And then I also did pre-made bags of like nuts or healthy like crackers or whatever, just as they're on my counter and I can just quickly grab one and throw them into my bag on my way to work.
I should really do that.
I've noticed it really helped me this week because I would do the same thing like throughout the day. I can just go into my bag at work and just grab, here's my thing of mango, and I'll just crunch on that for a little bit. And I've noticed it's made me feel a lot better throughout the day.
I really should do that.
Yeah. And then have you been noticing that by drinking as much water as you're drinking that you're not getting that kind of like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. burnout?
Yes, I have noticed that. And I noticed that the water does help with the hunger to a certain extent, except for once I get to the point where, like, if I'm in my car and I can't go to the bathroom, I can't drink any more water because I have to pee.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm hungry. I have water. I can't drink it.
You have to pee.
It's just all around a bad experience. It's horrible. That was me today.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Yeah, that's understandable for sure. It's definitely been an interesting challenge so far. I'm definitely enjoying it. There's definitely habits that I would like to continue doing so afterwards. I'm really, really looking forward to when the gyms and yoga studios are open.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think that's been the biggest challenge for me is just there's a reason why I don't work out at home. I'm not motivated to work out at home.
I don't like it.
Neither do I. I like coming home, getting changed, going to a gym, or going to yoga. I like that routine of it. If I'm at home, it's too easy for me to be like, I just don't really want to do it right now, and then not do it. So
And then you sit on the couch and watch something, and then you're just like, ugh,
yeah,
I don't want to.
So I've been pushing myself to do it, obviously, because it's part of our challenge. Yeah. But I'm definitely not feeling like I'm getting as much out of it as I would if we were going to a gym. So I'm so much looking forward to Saturday. I'm really hoping that they don't extend this any longer.
Yeah.
But we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the other thing that happened was I took my car in for service today.
Right.
And I'm going to go on a bit of a rant.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay. I love rants.
And I'm not saying that they're lying or whatever, but like I find it very hard to believe that I would need a new battery after having my car less than 5 years and it's brand new. Okay.
Yeah, that is very soon.
I bought it brand new. It has about 42,000 kilometers. That's not very much.
You do not drive very much.
No. So why on earth would I need a new battery?
I mean, I guess sometimes you can get faulty batteries, and I get that.
Sure.
So you can get like battery checkers.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. I did not just take their word for it. Yeah. So they called me and they're like, hey, so you need a new battery. And I'm like, I do? That's weird. I'm like, yeah, have you had any trouble starting your car? I'm like, no, never. Not once. Even when it was like cold.
Super cold.
Because like, you know, I didn't drive when it was super snowy, but like I would start my car from time to time just to make sure. And not once have I ever had an issue starting my car. Not once.
That's interesting.
I find it a little hard to believe.
And sometimes too, they say that you need a new one when in reality, sure, maybe you will potentially need a new one, or maybe they're getting signals that could show that there may be an issue, but it's not necessarily like a life or death. You need to get a new battery right now, but like, they make you feel like you need to do that.
I don't know that much about cars, but I'm not an idiot. So I'm not just going to take their word for it because like that's what they do. They call you and they're like, hey, you need this. And then they expect you to just be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, just go for it. Like, no. Make sure, like, if you don't know anything about cars like me, you need to like ask somebody. Yeah. Ask your dad, ask your brother, ask your boyfriend, whoever.
Go on Google.
Figure it out.
Research it. Yeah, well, Kurt must have stuff at Extend that would be able to test the battery. So, like, that's a really easy thing to do.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, that's wise.
The other thing that happened was, I got new tires put on beginning of December, I would say. And I've barely driven because my car didn't even move for like 2 weeks. Right. So they said to me, the lug nuts on your tires were very, very hard to get off and you need to replace them. And I was like, okay.
What?
So like replace them. And they're like, it'll be $80, which first of all,
$80?
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
So wait, you're going to replace all of the lug nuts? That makes no sense.
No, it does not make any sense. And so I've
never heard of
that. Okay, let me call you back. So I called Kurt and I was like, does that sound right to you? And he was like, absolutely not. No.
That's interesting.
So I called back, and of course, you can never talk to the same person that you talk to ever.
Well, and sometimes you don't always remember their name either when it's something like that. I didn't remember
the name, but they were able to find out who it was. And then, of course, they ring this person's extension. They don't answer.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking annoying. So I left a message saying, hey, please just leave it alone. I do not need my tires to be rotated. I just got these put on.
A month ago. Not even a month ago.
And if there's an issue, you know, I got my tires from Canadian Tire. I will go there and be like, hey, these lug nuts are fucked.
Yeah. So you guys need to fix them.
Yeah. So they called me back eventually and they're like, well, we took them off. And I'm like, okay, well, just don't do anything. And they're like, well, we can't get them back on now because they're fucked.
What?
And I was like, well, that's really, really annoying.
Unfortunate that you're now going to charge me for something that I didn't want you to do.
That is really annoying because I just got these tires put on a month ago and I don't need the tires to be rotated. And she goes, well, that's part of the service. And I said, well, that is really, really annoying that you would call me and say that to me.
Totally.
And they go, you know what? Well, we're going to waive it this time, but that just, that's part of the service. And then she just hung up.
Oh man.
I wasn't rude. Like I said it was annoying. I didn't use foul language.
I mean, that is a fair statement to make. Especially because, I'm sorry, those guys could look at those tires and know that they're brand new.
Yeah.
Easily.
Brand new. Like I've barely driven on them.
So you'd think, like, for instance, that's why I really like where I take my car, because they're very good at calling me and being like, hey, we noticed this. This is kind of our thought. Like, this is what could happen or whatever. What are your thoughts? What do you want to do? And sometimes they call me with the littlest things that I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, that's fine. So it's unfortunate when you then have situations like this where they just go ahead and do those kinds of things and they don't have enough discretion to not make those decisions, right. Or,
So, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so if I had just gone ahead and said, yeah, sure, like you guys are the experts, I don't know anything, it would have cost me an extra $650
Yeah,
today.
that's ridiculous.
Absolutely not. So you need to advocate for yourself. And I mean, I'm not saying that I don't need these things because, like I said, I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
But, I may end up having to replace these things down the road or next week, but it'll be because I have,
made an educated decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Educated myself, asked a second opinion, and then made that decision.
Yeah. And I think that that's a very good point, because I think a lot of people tend to, we trust too easily sometimes. And you want to believe, obviously, that no one is taking advantage of you or trying to harm you. And I don't think that that's what that situation was either. I think that sometimes it can just be, improper communication and just like not explaining it very well. And then, doing things without necessarily taking the right steps. But I agree, you have to be an advocate for yourself for a lot of things, because unfortunately, and I have a story that will kind of tie into this, big business is huge, and it can be really challenging to talk to somebody through customer service a lot of the times, and you can't always just take the answer at face value. Do your research, figure out what makes sense for you, and then make an educated decision, right? I have been dealing with WestJet for a couple of days, trying to deal with our flights for our honeymoon. So we have flights booked in May. I want to change them to June. Easy, not a problem. I could easily just cancel our flight in May and rebook for June. But we want to use a companion voucher that I get through RBC because of my credit card. Mm-hmm. And so it allows me to get one of our flights for like substantially cheaper. Great. I got one in October of 2020, and they pushed it into 2021, and then we've been kind of trying to figure out what to do with our flights, and I wasn't really ready to make a decision before the end of 2021. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I kind of figured that they would extend them again since we can't travel. Yeah. And I've been trying to contact them since prior to December 31st. Haven't been able to, because it's like impossible to get through. And so it expired. So on January 2nd, I tried calling just to say, are you guys willing to extend it? I'm ready to book my flights. I know exactly what I want to do, and can't get a hold of them. So finally I get through to somebody the other day, and she said, okay, well, I'm going to fill out a form, like see what we can do to extend it. She goes, the cutoff's January 12th. So I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see what we can do. She said, also, you were supposed to get a companion voucher in 2021 and your account doesn't show anything. And I said, okay, well, how does that work? And she's like, well, RBC usually issues them to us, and it usually happens around October, November. So like you need to call them and figure out why they didn't issue it. So, and of course, this is on a scheduled call that I had to make through WestJet, because it's impossible to call in and actually talk to somebody. So I had to schedule a call, which I scheduled on the 2nd, and I didn't talk to someone until the 10th. So I call RBC and they said, yeah, like everything on our end shows that we did send it November 7th. Like, you know, we've done everything on our end. There's not really a whole lot we can do. So now I've been trying to call WestJet for 3 days to try to get them to now deal with, okay, well, RBC says that they did. I was on hold last night for 6 hours before I finally just hung up because I guess the WestJet rewards closes at 8. Mm-hmm. And so I stayed on the phone until 8:45. And then finally I was like, whatever, I'll just try again tomorrow. So I talked to a woman today and she goes, yeah, RBC switched to a new system, I guess, around that time. And she goes, we have a bunch of people that are calling and saying the exact same thing that RBC says they did. WestJet doesn't have it. And so she's like, it's like in the back end somewhere that an IT problem that has to get fixed.
Oh my God.
And so she's like, you know, I'm going to take down your phone number. I'll give you a call if there's any issues, but I'm going to try to get this rectified. Like I have to talk to our RBC rep and get it all figured out. I'm like, okay. So she said, you know, it should be in your account today. Haven't seen anything yet. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to give it a couple of days, but then I'm going to keep calling back until I get both of them because like I'm entitled to those.
Yeah.
You know, I pay extra for this kind of credit card so that I can have that as a perk.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I'm going to advocate for myself because believing that they're just going to like add it to the queue and get it done. I don't firmly believe that because they're a huge corporation. They've got a million other things, but I'm going to do my due diligence and do what I can to drive that bus.
Yeah.
Because you have to, you know, and like when you're entitled to things like that and it's your money, then go for that.
Exactly.
Like that's one thing I learned a few years ago was like, it's your money. And so you can't always like, you know, if you get the wrong meal at a restaurant, I used to just be like, oh, whatever, I'll just eat it. But it's like, but that's your money. Like, you know, you should say something or, you know, not be an asshole, but like, you know what I mean?
Don't be a Karen.
Don't be a Karen. But like at the same time, you have every right to say like, no, I need it to be made right.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, I mean, money is very hard to earn and doesn't go very far.
Exactly.
So make your money work for you, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. Anyways. So I would really like to talk about, well, two things. I'd like to talk about the Bachelor episode. Are you watching The Bachelor right now? Okay. I only want to just quickly talk about this. It was Monday night's episode. Clayton gave a rose to somebody and then found out information about her that he's not very happy with. So he asked producers if he's able to take a rose back.
Oh, I've never seen anyone do that before.
No. And so the episode ended as a to be continued because it's kind of like who knows if this is allowed to happen. So I thought it was really, really interesting.
That's funny.
I also thought it was funny because they had Hillary Duff on the episode as one of the group dates. And so like the group date was going to some mansion to decorate for a children's birthday party. And Hillary Duff was there to like help them decorate.
Why?
And then it was all about just them like hanging out with the kids and like decorating. It was the weirdest group date. And this girl who he's talking about taking the rose back from, she basically was like, I'm not decorating. I'm not here to decorate a kid's birthday party. She's like, I'm here to have a relationship with Clayton. And relationships are not based on decorating for a children's birthday party. She's like, I want to spend time with him, so that's what I'm going to do. So she kept like taking him away from the date and they're like making out by the pool and all this stuff. And all the other girls were pissed because they're sitting here like decorating cakes, like putting up streamers. Ridiculous.
That's funny.
I know. Then we have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh God, it's so good.
So I told Allie that I wanted to create a game, well, not a game, but like a segment called What Is With, because the whole time I was watching this episode in my mind, I kept being like, what is with this? Or like, what is with that? So I just thought it'd be funny.
Okay.
So what is with, first of all, Meredith's boobs at Seth's party? Her boobs are out in every single outfit, and I'm sorry, the necklines just don't always suit her.
There's this one confessional look that, and you might know exactly which one I'm talking about. People are saying that she's wearing a chest plate.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Her boobs look so weird and not like how they usually look.
Yes, and it's just not flattering.
No.
Like, I'm all about a woman's body. Yeah. I'm all about a gorgeous woman, everything, totally. But there's certain looks and certain styles and certain, necklines, everything that just are not flattering.
But okay, if she's wearing a chest plate, I just can't get past it. Why? I just want to know why.
She's got one outfit that like comes really low and then it kind of goes off on like a really weird
Is it angle. The orange one?
No, it's
that
like
one's
a blue
bad.
one. And it's such a weird neckline and it just doesn't work and it pushes her boobs in. It just, anyways, I really did not like her outfit for Seth's birthday party.
I seem to really dislike most of Meredith's outfits.
Me too. I'm really not into her style.
No,
at all.
It's bad.
So didn't like it. What's with Lisa's outfit? She came wearing a bodysuit then high-waisted like pink pants.
Like the silk pants.
Yeah.
I actually liked it.
I just thought that compared to all of the other women that were so dressed up, it just wasn't very Lisa Barlow. She just looked like she was like going to like a casual sleepover. Like it just wasn't
I liked it. And you know what? It really helped when everyone was going in the pool. All she had to do was take her pants off and then she was basically wearing a bathing suit.
I will agree with you because when I saw that, I was like, did she bring a bathing suit? Like that's weird. And then I was like, oh no, that's the bodysuit.
Yeah.
So I will agree with you in terms of function. Totally worked.
She probably knew, we're going to be next to a pool.
You're right. She probably did. I just felt like it wasn't a very like Lisa Barlow outfit. And compared to what the rest of the women were wearing, I was kind of like, this is weird. Mm-hmm. What's with Meredith's hair? There was multiple scenes. So she had it up in a ponytail, but there was multiple scenes towards the end of the party where it obviously had been getting like ratted up in like what she was wearing because she had the jacket on at that point. So it was like her dark hair and then a dark ponytail, but what the hair that was wrapped around the whole like obviously extension ponytail section was like a lighter brown color, and then it was all ratted. So it just looked weird.
Okay.
I wasn't into it. I'm being very picky with this episode. Okay. What was with the dancer in the hot tub? Okay. So Meredith wants this dancer. She's like, oh yeah, this dancer can just like, stand on the top step of the hot tub. And then it features this girl and she's just all by herself standing on the top step of this hot tub dancing.
So bored.
It was weird. I don't understand dancers at parties. I just think it's weird. It's unnecessary. Nobody's interacting with them.
I agree.
Unless they're doing like a big show.
Like a performance.
Like a performance. Awesome. But just can you imagine just a random girl dancing right here?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm inviting you guys all over for Thanksgiving and there's a random girl dancing in the corner. I just think it's weird.
It was very weird.
What is with when they got to the party and Seth hugs both Brooks and whatever the daughter's name is. I don't remember. Chloe. The bar came up and it only calls them Meredith's kids, not Seth's kids.
Oh, because Meredith is the housewife.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It all has to be in relation to Meredith.
Okay. Well, I will let that one slide then because I thought that was weird. What's with Seth's obsession with Whitney's cleavage? That's weird.
It's so creepy.
It's very creepy. Like when he was on the golf course and he was like saying that to Justin, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then when they started flashing back to all the other times he mentioned it.
Once or twice, haha, funny joke.
Exactly.
It was like
when you continue to carry it on all the time.
It's too much. It's creepy. It's weird. I don't like it.
You could tell that Justin was kind of like, okay, I'm tired of this, bro. Like, stop talking about my wife's tits over here.
Seth is just creepy and weird, and I don't like him.
Like, I can't. Jeremy would be pissed if one of his friends said that to him.
Yeah.
Like he would maybe laugh the first time, but then he would be like,
it's a joke, like, haha, your wife's tits. It'd be
your
like,
wife's hot.
It'd be like, yeah,
I know, man.
Yeah. And then after it's like, okay, like enough.
Weird. And then enough that she created a cake that was of her cleavage.
He was being like really creepy with the cake.
I know.
And licking the nipples of the
he
cake.
had his like jacket up and he was like licking the nipples. It was very weird.
People ate that after he was licking it.
I thought that his tongue was all around. Like, yeah, the fondant was wet. Like, it was gross.
So gross.
I thought that was really weird. What was with Mary chewing gum while drinking wine? She like goes up to the bar and that's when she was like, oh, I'm not going to say hi to Jenny because I'm just not interested in talking to her today. And she's standing there and Jenny's husband like says hi to her and Mary's sitting there and she's like open mouth chewing while drinking wine. I'm like, that's weird because Mary's so hoity-toity about everything.
I don't even pretend to understand why Mary does anything. So I'm just going to let that one go.
I was just like, all you talk about all the time is etiquette. And then she does very strange things.
Yeah. She's just weird.
Very weird. What is with Lisa telling the story of her sister with her husband? And like, why? How did this get brought up?
I don't know.
So you're talking about how your sister used to date your husband and then, oh yeah, like they kissed 3 times.
Yeah, but they didn't have sex.
Like, why are you talking about this? How does that come up in the conversation? I'd like to know. I thought that was really weird.
It was weird.
What's with announcing the girls' trip in front of everyone at the party? Like, that's a weird thing to do. Like, they've got all these random people.
Like, okay, I want to imagine that the party was probably on a Saturday, and then it was like, when are we going? You're going on Monday. Because they were like, oh, so soon.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's very weird.
It's very weird.
I just thought that was like a strange thing to do at a party. Like, I get that people understand that it's all a show and I get that, but it just seems like a weird time to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So then it made me think like they only showed the housewives and their spouses. So then I thought maybe this was like before or after other people left, but it was so early.
There was people hanging around watching.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Kate, what is with the flashback to Jen taking a dig at Meredith? Meredith goes, oh, Jen like has been taking digs at me lately. And then it does a flashback to Jen and all she says is how, you know, I understand why you're upset about Jen saying things about your kids, but like, you know, I'm still friends with both of you. Like, that's not even a dig.
No.
There's weird lines being drawn and weird people that are friends with other people. And I just don't get it.
Yeah. It is weird. And also, I want to mention this. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe she wouldn't invite Jen.
She said numerous times that she doesn't want to be around her.
Why would she invite Jen when she has said repeatedly that she wants nothing to do with her? She does not want to be around Jen ever. So why on earth would she invite Jen? Like, why are you surprised? And it's like, oh, well, Jen's going to be mad that the dog got an invite and not her. Why?
I'm sure by now she gets it. Well, I'm happy that Whitney said to Meredith, like, is there something else going on? Because at this point, like, Jen's already apologized to Brooks. I mean, you can't keep pulling the whole card of like, Jen threatened my family. Like, we've kind of already gone through that.
It's okay though for like, if somebody does something to you, you're
allowed to not invite them.
You can like, they can apologize and you can forgive them, but it doesn't mean you need to be friends with them.
That's true.
So, I mean, if she doesn't want to be friends with Jen, she doesn't want to be friends with Jen. However, they are filming a TV show, and unfortunately, part of that is having to be in the same room as the other person.
And it just clearly by Whitney asking that, it makes it seem like there's probably more than what we see too. Yeah. And that at some point the women are probably like, okay, Meredith, there's got to be like something else that's happening here, you know? And then what is with the end of the episode?
A physical altercation.
Well, they get into the bus and everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, Jen just starts getting ramped up. And then her and Lisa.
That's what she does. She goes from 0 to 100 so quickly.
Well, and I don't blame Lisa for getting so upset because, yeah, you're in a bus and you have somebody who's constantly yapping, not letting you say anything, taking everything you say and twisting it and turning it around and not stopping. And in your face, I would have gotten like that too, because I would have eventually gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, you need to fuck off.
Yeah.
And like, as soon as it went to be continued, I'm like, this is heated.
Oh, it's so good. But like, how funny is it that they get on the bus? It's the same bus. It's the same driver. It's all the exact same people. Because once again, Meredith and Mary don't fucking show up.
Yeah.
And then how funny was it that that Lisa brought a bag of McDonald's?
I know. I thought that was funny too.
What?
And then she's like, food for everybody. But, if Meredith and Mary don't have anything to do with telling the feds about Jen, then they're really not doing a very good job hiding it, because not going is basically saying that I don't want to be confronted. I don't want to deal with it. And
I think that there's like a lot of stuff that we just don't know. 100%. And I think some of it has to do with like the stuff about Mary's church and like, okay, so you'll see in the next episode that somebody is going to say something doesn't add up about you being in Vale early, like to Meredith.
Oh, right,
and she's saying,
her father.
Yeah, she's saying my husband or my father's funeral was there. What doesn't add up about that? And I think that she's absolutely right.
Yes.
Because she didn't say, I'm not gonna come with you guys. Like, no, she said, I'm gonna be there ahead of time because of the funeral.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys there.
Mary's the only one that was like, I'm not gonna get on the bus with
30 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
I think it was a coincidence that really worked out for Meredith in that sense. Which brings me back to points that I've made up before about how I thought Meredith's reaction to finding out about Jen was weird, because to me, how she goes, I haven't been on my phone at all. That's not true. If you are on a television show and one of your co-stars is getting arrested and it's all over the news, you'd have people calling and texting you.
Of course.
I'm sorry. And like, especially somebody like Meredith who owns a business, you are on your phone. You've also just been away for a couple of days and now you're going away again. You'd be on your phone.
Yeah.
There's just no way, so it does make me feel like there is something else going on that we don't know about. Also, Mary didn't go to the filming of the reunion.
Yes.
Is there any reason? Has she said why? Is there anything that's come out about why?
She doesn't want to be on the show anymore.
Well, we don't want her to be on the show either.
No.
So
she doesn't want to be on the show. She says, I don't have a relationship with these women. I don't find it interesting. But I've been seeing today, I was on TikTok a little bit today, and there was some pretty interesting stuff. Like, people were coming for Mary on like Twitter, being like, how can you say all this racist stuff? Like the stuff about Jenny. And she was being really ignorant and really rude back. Being
what a shocker.
Being like, why would you say this dumb stuff to me? I don't care about your stupid opinion. I don't know you and I don't want to know you, which is like her classic line that she always says. Like, she's not taking any accountability whatsoever. She's just like, that's your opinion and it's stupid, basically.
Imagine living like that. And then being in a position of power and influencing a lot of other people. And that's the way that you talk, behave, interact with other people, respond. You take no accountability. I thought it was interesting when she was talking to Meredith about how she said, well, if Jenny wasn't happy with the gift that I gave her and she felt like it offended her culture, then why didn't she say anything at the time?
Because she didn't know.
Well, and yes, that's true. She didn't know. And I'm sure that when she found out, she's not going to go and then confront somebody about it, because that's also rude.
Yeah.
So like I really didn't like that she said that, because that's such an ignorant thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, it wasn't until Lisa told her that all of a sudden it's offending her culture. Yeah. No, bitch. It offended her culture the entire time. She just has better grace and didn't say anything to you about it. Rude. So rude. Well, I'm happy that she's not going to be on the show anymore, but I will say she brings a good amount of drama. So
she does, but I think, I think she's probably doing the right thing. I mean, I think the damage has been done, though. I think
things are going to start to come out.
Things are shady about her church. Yeah. And I think it was dumb for her to go on a TV show. Yeah. And, if things are there to be uncovered, they will be uncovered.
It's like these people have never watched these shows before.
I don't think that she has.
Like, I always get so mad at people that go on, like, Survivor or The Bachelor. It's like, have you never seen this show before? You didn't do your research?
I think Mary is so out of touch with reality.
Living in her own little bubble.
I don't even think that she's even heard of the show.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't think she's seen it.
You're probably right. Oh my God, I just can't with people. I hate people.
Yeah. I wish you were watching Real Housewives of Orange County because it is really crazy this season. It's not like crazy in the sense of like drama, like, you know, arrests and stuff like that. But there's a very interesting divorce going on that show. One of the new girls, she's brand new. She's dating, or she's married to this guy named Sweet James. He's a lawyer.
God.
Like an ambulance chaser type of lawyer, you know?
Gross.
He has billboards all over LA. So like everybody in the LA area knows who he is.
Yeah.
And he's divorcing her. He sent her divorce documents. They're in Spanish. She doesn't speak Spanish.
What? Does he speak Spanish?
I don't think so. He's claiming that he lives in Puerto Rico.
What?
He doesn't live in Puerto Rico.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
It's very, very fucked up.
It's weird what people do when they feel like they're slighted.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's so unnecessary.
It's very...
Can't it just be amicable?
No, it can't. It's very, very bizarre. And I'm really enjoying it. So
yeah, see, I like stuff like that too. Like, as much as it's like, other people's misery,
I don't
like to look at
understand it. But yeah, it's very real. Like she's just getting like wasted on camera and like just crying.
Oh God,
and it's hard to watch.
That's
but
horrible.
I'm enjoying it.
Have you watched Selling Tampa yet?
No.
It's good. I like it.
I don't think I'm gonna watch.
Why?
I barely can tolerate Selling Sunset.
Oh. Why though? Why don't you like Selling Sunset?
Because it's just so fake.
I would not say that Selling Tampa is fake.
No,
I have not once felt that way. You should try it. Just watch the first episode.
Is it more about real estate?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll watch
actually,
it.
it's way more about real estate. And like all of the women that are on there, like some of them are so funny. Like they're very sassy.
Okay.
It's way more about real estate. So I definitely think that you would like it, because I was actually saying that to Jeremy, is that like some of the stuff they talk about, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. Or there's definitely nowhere near as much drama. Like I'm on the 6th episode and this is the first instance that I've actually been like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Okay.
So you should watch it. Watch the first episode. I think you'll like it.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
You should. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm also watching Real Housewives of Miami right now.
Yeah, I saw that. Is it a new season that's come out?
It's like a reboot because it was canceled. Like,
oh, I see.
A long time ago.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it's like a reboot. It's on Peacock, but we have it here on Hey
Right,
You.
I saw that it came out on Hey You.
It's good. It's decent.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah. And Real Housewives of New Jersey starts in about 2 weeks.
Ah, yes.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I've just been I'll watch my Salt Lake City when it comes out. I've been watching And Just Like That. I can't stand calling it that.
I just call it Sex in the City.
Yeah, I've been watching that. The last episode I was kind of meh about.
Yeah.
I'm just not really sure how I feel about this whole season. I don't not like it, but I just don't know if it needed to happen.
It didn't. I think it didn't need to happen.
Like Friends is my absolute favorite show in the entire world, but I don't need another season of it, because all it does is wreck the original. Yeah. You know, and then it just tries to be a parody of itself, and it's just, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I agree.
But we don't make those decisions, so.
Okay, do you want to hear some... I wrote this for our newsletter.
Ooh, so I'm interested.
We should talk about some real estate stuff.
I love it.
Right? So I wrote this for our Bald Guy newsletter, which you'll get soon. It's tips for how to prepare your home for the winter months.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if it sounds like I'm reading something, I am, but I wrote it. So
it's fine. Okay, go.
Okay. We are now well into January, which means that winter is in full swing. But let's be honest here. It's never too late to winterize your home, especially here on Vancouver Island, where it usually doesn't even get cold until February. Here are some tips on how to prepare for the cold months to save money on your heating bill and save your home from costly repairs down the road. Okay. Number 1. Windows are the eyes to the soul. Is that the saying? Anyway, windows can be a huge problem for heat loss in the home, meaning that you're literally throwing dollars out the window every day. Replace those old single pane windows to new, more energy efficient ones. BC Hydro even has a rebate program. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but BC Hydro and Fortis are really good for rebates for those kinds of things. Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yes, exactly. Whoops. Number 2, if you already have new windows, well then, good for you, smarty pants. Here's a way to make your windows even more energy efficient. Window insulating film is cost effective and a temporary fix. You can buy it at any hardware store or that billionaire's website, and come springtime, you can just easily remove them from your windows.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. It's basically like, it looks like saran wrap, and you take like a blow dryer and it kind of like shrink wraps, but it just adds like another layer of insulation. If you don't like the look of saran wrap on your windows, then a thick curtain can be a great and stylish alternative, like a blanket for your window.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
I thought it was funny.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Number 3, cold air can get into your home easily through cracks in your doors, window frames, and even electrical outlets. A quick and easy fix are spray foam insulation for cracks in window frames, a door sweep which attaches nicely to the bottom of your doors, and foam outlet gaskets for your electrical outlets that will keep the cold out nicely.
Yes. All good things. You can also get like like replace your gasket or your seal for your garage door.
Yes,
that helps too.
Yep. Definitely. Number 4, we all have that annoying neighbor, family member, friend of a friend, etc. that won't stop bragging about that new ductless heat pump that I put in. We get it. You're saving money on your heating bill, keeping warm in the winter, cool in the summer. You got a rebate from BC Hydro, blah, blah, blah. We get it. But seriously, they have a point.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
So like,
you're funny, Allie.
Thank you. Number 5, get an inspection done on your furnace to make sure it's running in tip-top shape.
Yes.
This should be done yearly anyway.
Yes, and it can also really help with ensuring that there's no carbon monoxide coming into your house.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, because there was like that story that came out around Christmas time of that family. I believe it was in Michigan, where like 5 of them passed away or something over Christmas. Sad. And it was they can't link it specifically to the furnace, but that was one of those things, is you should be getting a yearly checkup just to make sure that it's functioning properly and being energy efficient, but also ensuring that there's no carbon monoxide.
Good point. Mm-hmm. Number 6, clean your gutters. Get those leaves out of your gutters ASAP to avoid ice blockages, which can actually tear your gutters right off of your house.
Yes.
Cause leakage into the roof. Not to mention, you run the risk of being impaled by an icicle.
Which is a real thing and does happen. I was very afraid of that this year.
I know.
Yeah. We were actually talking about that a lot, because when you drive around, you start to see the houses that obviously haven't been cleaning their gutters or haven't been repairing their gutters. And we saw like one that was like 5 feet.
Oh yeah.
It was huge.
The neighbors across the street from me had like the scariest looking icicles. Yeah. Brutal.
And like, there's companies that will come and do that for you, you know? So, and they're really not that expensive, and it's worth it.
That is true. Number 7, shut off your outdoor water spouts to prevent the pipes from freezing and bursting. You can also buy insulated covers for your outdoor faucets, which prevents them from freezing and looks like a fun little hat.
Oh my God. Is there a picture?
No.
You should have put one in there.
Know where your water main shut off is found in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good call.
Number 8, make sure you have pet safe salt on hand at all times for your driveway and sidewalk. There will be no slip and fall lawsuits on your watch.
Yes, and also remember that the sidewalk in front of your house is
your responsibility,
especially if you have mailboxes, because like we have mailboxes in our front yard, and you will be held liable if anybody slips and falls, hurts themselves, anything while getting their mail. So
good to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it.
Oh, I was expecting
that was all
more.
Of them.
Those are really, really good tips.
Thank you.
Good job, Allie. I love that. We've been trying to do that more at work lately too, is like writing more blog posts.
Yeah.
And doing things like that. Is it good to insulate your shed or your cabin?
Yeah.
You know, what about adding power? What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks? Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I love stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm most impressed that I actually was able to like sit down and write something. Mm-hmm. Because I have no attention span.
Yeah, I mean, it can be easier, obviously, when it's something that you're passionate about or that you're knowledgeable about, but it's also good when you're picking a topic that there is so much information about online too. So those are really good.
Thanks.
So you guys had like a home inspector come into your office to do a meeting?
Yes.
Did you learn any of that stuff from the home inspector?
No, he didn't talk about specifically like any stuff like that. He kind of just talked about
his business,
what services he offers, and stuff like that.
Okay, so, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't told you this yet, but we signed up for a booth at the home reno and decor show that's happening at Bebin in March.
Okay.
Which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So it's happening from, I think it's the 4th to the 7th. So whatever that like Thursday to the Sunday is. And I'm really, really excited. So we get to go and kind of showcase our product. We've never done that show before. We've done the BC Home and Garden show before, but never something like this. So
yeah, great.
I know. Still have to come by and check us out.
Yeah, I will. I love checking out a home show.
Me too. Because it was the home show that we went to last time. That was the fall one. Okay, I see. Yeah, so now you can come and check out my booth.
I will.
Jeremy's calling me. He has to work overtime because of all of the rain.
Right.
So he was at work this morning at 8 and he's got to stay there until 10.
Oh my God.
I know. I feel so bad for him. He's so irritated.
I bet.
Yeah. And they are losing a couple of their employees this week due to the vaccine mandates. So it's like the schedule is kind of all over the place and they're short staffed, which really sucks. So it's going to be a lot more overtime on his watch.
Uh-oh.
But it's good for the pocketbook. So and you know what? It's good for him. Working overtime is never really a bad thing. So
yeah, I agree.
Gives you some meat on your bones. My little cat. My cat has stage 4 kidney disease and it's very sad.
Yeah.
But he's actually hanging in there. Like I didn't really expect him to live as long as he is. Seeing as how he was diagnosed at the beginning of December, I really didn't expect it to go into the new year. But now he's not really losing weight, which is good, but he won't eat anything. He'll only eat his treats. He refuses to eat anything else. So it's like you're not starving. You're just being picky.
Have you tried giving him wet food?
Yes. I've tried
you won't eat that?
8 different brands of wet food.
That's really weird.
He'll eat, for instance, I gave him one yesterday. He ate half of it. And then usually if I leave it overnight, he'll finish it, which he was doing a couple weeks ago. Now he won't do that. And so then I'll try giving him the rest of the can today. Won't even touch it. He'll just walk away. It's very weird. And so I've tried the stuff from the vet that they want me to be using. He won't eat that anymore. He was eating it. He won't. He was eating dry food for a while. Won't touch it now. So I don't know what the deal is, but he'll eat his treats. No problem. He'll gobble them right up. So it's kind of hard to feel bad for you when you will eat the junk food, but you won't eat the real food.
I will only eat ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay, well, you're going to starve,
That's funny.
Anyways. Right. Well, shall we wrap it up?
We should wrap it up.
It was a good episode.
I thought it was a good one.
Season 2 home opener. That was a very good episode. We learned a lot.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
Okay, good.
Well, as always, you can find us on YouTube and Instagram as well as TikTok when I feel like posting, because TikTok is it's a lot. It takes way longer than the other platforms. So I'm a little behind.
That's okay.
Oh, one thing. I officially changed my name today.
Congratulations.
To my married name. It was a lot easier than I expected it to be. I'm not going to lie.
Good to know.
I thought there was going to be all of these forms and nope, just boom. I went to get my license renewed. I had an appointment at 3:40, but I went in at 3:30 because I got there early. I was out by 3:35.
Wow.
I'm not joking.
That's amazing.
I was shocked. It was very, very fast, very efficient, photo and all.
Wow.
Yeah. So good old ICBC.
Good to know.
Anyways, thank you
for listening.
See you next week.